So just to get started, how do you define apraxia of speech?
So apraxia is the difficulty planning and programming the movements needed for speech. And it really takes a whole mind shift for us as speech language pathologists, because we are really, really good at looking at sound, omissions, sound substitutions, and remediating and fixing those. Like, that is what we are good at. But the problem is, even if a child is substituting a sound for another sound when they have childhood apraxia speech, likely the problem, unless they have a phonological disorder with it, which can happen, but likely the problem initially is in speech motor planning. And so the problem is the brain telling the articulators and the muscles, planning the movements for what to do. So it's first we have to plan the movements, and then we have to give the message to the articulators to do that. So it all starts in the brain. And so if we're so focused on execution and at the sound level, we make very minimal progress because we have not achieved true motor learning, which is the movements and the sequences of the speech sounds.
So it's almost that we move ahead too quickly. We're not starting at the root. As you're saying this, I'm thinking it's almost like executive functioning for our speech.
Yeah, it's very similar, because there is in apraxia, if you are an SLP and you've been in those IEP meetings with OTs, what do OTs say all the time? Oh, they have a problem with motor initiation and motor planning. And initiation and planning all starts in the brain. Executive functioning, very similar. And unfortunately, I feel like, well, not unfortunately, but as it is, a lot of neurodivergent children tend to have executive functioning as a common comorbidity to whatever, disability they have, whether it be dyslexia, ADHD, apraxia, so.
And do they know what causes apraxia?
We have three main causes. The most common is idiopathic, meaning we just really don't know. But two other causes are some sort of neurodevelopmental disorder where there might be some sort of brain insult like stroke in utero or stroke after. Or even if there's a head injury in childhood, we're still going to call it childhood apraxia of speech because the child's brain is still developing. So it's not going to be the same as your adult who had a stroke or had a TBI because the brain, is not in childhood, essentially. So that would be one cause. You can also have like a metabolic disorder that kind of falls under that. That's pretty rare. And then the other one is genetic. So Ashlyn's is genetic. She has a mutation on this gene called BCL11A, and it's the cause of all of the disabilities that she has. So.
Oh, that's fascinating. I did not know a lot of that. So it sounds like it's something you can be born with, but it's also something you can acquire. Okay.
Yep. And it can be heritable or de novo. So heritable is like if Ashlyn were to have children now, there's a high potential for it to be a heritable problem now, that it's heritable because she has the mutation. In Ashlyn's case, it was de novo, meaning it just was this random event that occurred at conception. So it was just this random mutation, de novo, not heritable. But now it becomes heritable that she can be, that she has it.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we could go down an entire rabbit hole of just genetics.
You can. It's a whole talk. Well, it's a whole workshop.
Well, and I'm just fascinated by genetics and how all this works. And
Me
so
too.
It's like, okay, I'm going to contain myself. We will talk about this another time because we are talking about apraxia right now. But I just learned a lot. I think I just learned more from you right now than I learned all of grad school about apraxia.
Yay!
So,
that's my goal, baby.
So thank you for that.